Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Thank you, Umar. Before I come and thank the panelists all along, I would first of all like to acknowledge the oldest man in this room, Brigadier Mahmood, my commanding officer. Sir, thank you for being here. One of the most upright people that I've ever known in my life. One of the most upright people I've known. Candid, always to speak the truth, and actually showed us the way of how to stand up for the truth. And he still stands up for the truth at this age. And his writings are also very candid, and I wish more people would read about them. Let me start with the first one, in terms of frustration and Sheikh Nayan. I came to know Sheikh Nayan when I was made a member of the board of directors of Habib Credit Enterprise Bank, which was actually Bank Al-Falah, and there were 3 branches. And Sheikh Nayan had bought the majority shares in that. At that time, he had shares, but majority shares. I was appointed by the government to represent, at that time, the PNN government, to represent the government. And 2 of us to represent the 26% the government had. But in time, when I first met Sheikh Nayan, the first meeting he asked me, "What do you know about banking?" I said, "Nothing," because I did not. I came out of the army thinking LC, letter of credit, was a girl. That was my knowledge about banking. But he said, "Okay, learn." So it took me about a couple of years to understand banking transactions, banking terms, etc., etc. And then he started giving me more and more things to shoulder, including actually opening up Bank Al-Falah in Bangladesh. And, I opened up, the branches, expanded the branches. Not many people know that. And I'm very sorry to say that recently they've sold out in Bangladesh. But I think they just gave up on the feeling, because Al-Falah happens to be a Pakistani bank. It was not well received there. Then, of course, Satyajit ji Saab, what can I say? I mean, Shahid has told about it all, what a great man he was. I don't think there was a sharper mind than his that I saw. He knew what he was talking about, whether it was water security, whether it was foreign affairs, whether it was food security. In fact, frankly speaking, Food and Agriculture Organization follows till today his policy that he has. A person wrote out in Rome at that time. When he went from here, from the civil service, he opted to go to FAO. And let me tell you that 2 weeks before he died, went to see him, and he actually dictated to me his dedication. He said, "Take Dr. Sanya Nishtar's dedication to me from Abid Suderi's book." I, of course, by mistake made it Abid Zubairi. But, and he was very precise of what the happening, etc. And, and it was like Shah Khan has said, that it was a wonder to see this man. And he said, "Ikram, I may not see you again." And this is a man, he said, "I've got my lungs filling up." And you marveled at the courage of this man, and yet his mind was sharp like anything. He was truly a great, great human being, and a great loss to this country. Mushahid has talked about it. We kept on telling at that time, Yasab said, "Make him president, make him president." He would have been the ideal president for the thing. Mia Saab chose otherwise. And then, of course, we come to General Kakar, and what can I say? Superb human being. Mushahid has talked about, the president, the prime minister, the governors, the chief minister going home. He's not mentioned, he sent 2 TGISIs home also. Right? And they were serving officers. Right? He sent them home because he said, "I will not like you indulging in politics." And talking about the extension, one of the wonderful human beings that I came to much later in life is a victim of that extension, Lieutenant General Humayun Aziz. If Bajwa had not taken the extension, he would have been Chief of Army Staff. But thank you, Humayun, for being here. I really appreciate it. But, you know, you can go on and on about life and talk about this thing. I'm very grateful to start with my wife Shanaz and her sisters being here. Of course, my son, but above all, my grandchildren. And all Amani to start with, and then of course Elena and Suleiman. And what greater legacy can you leave than having such wonderful grandchildren, each one absolute character and soul on his own right, absolute in her own right, whatever, and absolutely, you know, and people were asking me, what were you doing, Sakshing? I wish some of you can come up to our brunch, which I invited all of you to on Sunday, and see that to Amani Bagh, which I've named after my first granddaughter, and then of course Elena Heights, which I've named my second daughter, and of course Suleiman Lodge has come up, and Suleiman Base that he named himself near Changla Gali, are also coming up. Then I'd like to thank my speakers one by one, starting with Air Marshal Masood Akhtar. What can I say? Masood, I'm really grateful to you. You know, we work together, and you know, it's only which you've been very kind to Moeed Yusuf, when you copy-pasted most of my national security strategy of 2002 and gave it as his own this thing. And of course, initially I was in that team, and then suddenly I stopped getting invited to his meetings. But then I realized that the thing is only when the national security policy came out, I saw. And therefore, Air Marshal Masood, you will be happy to know that I am now going to spend the rest of my days, of whatever life I have left, writing out the national security strategy of Pakistan. I've updated it. I've updated the 72 pages. It has become now 108 pages to give a concept. And then I've talked about the preamble, whatever is happening, and then not stop there, then said the challenges and how to deal with the challenges. And that challenges are many, whether it's food security, water security, whether it's you know, getting rid of institutions that are like then taxation, how to simplify taxation, how to rationalize the armed forces to meet the modern warfare. I think we should learn both from what has happened in the Gulf War, and Gulf War was overtaken what is happening in the Middle East now. There's a total different concept of warfare. The drones, etc., etc. Iran absolutely set a new this thing. We should learn from this. We cannot still stay bogged down in our complete, you know, ideas that we can stay static and still go on. And then what is happening in the education field? And of course, I'm so happy to see, you know, a lot of galleons here, and I'm proud of you, like that. And I remember always, you know, we always have the slogan, never give in. See, when I escaped from the camp, prisoner of war camp, I had that, never give in, right? And so today I'm proud that you are here, and thank Brigadier Mujahid Alam for bringing them here, all the prefects and the high achievers, all the way from Ghoda Gali. And I learnt in Ghoda Gali. Whatever I learned a lot in Ghoda Gali. Because when there used to be lightning and rain, we used to go on a paper chase. So lightning and rain didn't affect us. That was the concept at that time, right? But anyway, I would say that, you know, what the main thing I learned in Ghoda Gali was to set the cause above renown, to love the game beyond the prize, to honor while you strike him down, the foe that comes with fearless eyes. So these things I learned, among other things that I learned in Ghoda Gali. Then I turn to General Ali Kuli, what can I say? You know, my sister Nilofer is sitting here, and I can only say that they've been the closest friends that I've had for many years. My sister's death also became even closer, and General Ali Kuli has been very tolerant of me, because I keep on giving him advice, which I think he does not really need from time to time, but I think then a good friend is only that gives the correct perspective. And I'm so grateful to you, Nilofer, and to Ali for being such good friends of mine and good friends of our family all along. And to have me on part of your business, this thing as director, right, of your industries, of your businesses, and it's a great honor. And of course, it's been a great honor to serve with you in aviation, and even though and the thing. But let me tell you one thing about General Ali Kuli, which most of you do not know, because there has been something said about the signing of the surrender. General Niazi surrendered to Manekshaw at 9 o'clock in the morning. General Ali Kuli and the entire aviation flew out from East Pakistan at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They did not surrender. They were 1 mile away from the Indian Army main force, inside the Dhaka cantonment. They took all the helicopters except one that was left behind. And they brought all the nurses out with them, our nurses. They brought the entire aviation contingent. They flew out towards, first of all, they flew out towards Agartala, then went south into Burma, right, circled over, and then of course threw their weapons into the sea and then landed in Burma. But he did not surrender. And General Ali Kuli's father was a very good friend of General Sam Manekshaw. And Manekshaw sent him a message that I have your son in the jug. And General Habibullah sent back a message, you will never have any son of mine in the jug. And he did not surrender. So that was a great thing. Not many people know these things. And of course, I had a vested interest when I was speaking to Nawaz Sharif about this thing, Mushahid, myself and Sartaj Aziz Saab, 3 of us. And we kept on telling him, go according to the seniority. Go according to seniority. See, professionally, when you reach the rank of Lieutenant General, all are competent, without fail. Without fail, all are competent. So don't pick and choose at that, right? Unless there is something very drastically wrong with that thing, do not pick and choose. So that is General Ali Kuli for you, and I'm very proud of our relationship all along. Then, of course, Mushahid, what can I say, Mushahid? We've done a long journey together, and Mushahid and myself, Mushahid will walk in and we will eat dal together from the langar, from our langar, and we would enjoy the dal and we would discuss things and a lot of things, and unfortunately did not work out. I thought, and I did propose at that time many times to that thing. I said, you're doing a tremendous job as the information secretary. You need Mushahid as your foreign minister. You need Mushahid as your foreign minister. Mushahid knows, and his grasp of facts is so clear. You would not be. Small things and details he knows, and like a good soldier, he can think on his feet, right? So, which is very necessary for a foreign minister, right? So he didn't have to read out from a script or the thing, read out. Like he's done today, he could speak out without having to read out from a script. And of course, one of the most honorable people I know. And of course, it's a great honor in this everything. Shahid, your relationship, like you said, goes back to your uncle. You did not name him. Brigadier Taj was one of the most bravest officers that I ever come across. He was decorated in both the wars, and he would have got a 3rd Sitar-e-Jurrat. And let me tell you, really, Mahmood was here. He's here. He was there also in Chor Desert. For some time, our brigade commander disappeared for 2-3 days. We didn't know where he was. De facto, literally, Brigadier Taj had taken over the brigade. It was the 44 Punjab, which was our battalion, which became Force in, 45 Punjab, and this thing, etc. And he said one thing very clearly to us. He said, there's no going back. We will die here. And Shahid, how proud you must be. You're an illustrious father and you're an industrious uncle. And I tell you that, I've served under very good commanding officer, Brigadier Mahmood, and of course I have Brigadier Zair Hussein's son here, General Shakil, also working with me now. And he was all of 8 years old when I first knew him, and his father was my company commander first, and then my commanding officer. I was their student. And of course, Brigadier Taj, right? Very good commanding officers. And I was very lucky that way. So, Shahid came along and I told him, I said, Shahid, you're in the wrong political party. Ultimately, I think I've been proven right. Right. So, the point is, I did say that in the speech of the last book launch, actually. Right. And I called Shahid at that time, I called him Prime Minister Shahid Khan Abbasi. And I say it again today. Former Prime Minister and future Prime Minister of Pakistan. You do not come across many people having such values. He just stayed the course because of loyalty. The loyalties that are ingrained because of his family history. He stayed the course with loyalty. So he disagreed with a lot of things. He stayed the course with loyalty. Ultimately, circumstances overcome that loyalty. But Shahid, we look forward, whatever future brings for you, but I am sure that you will bring that honesty and integrity to politics that is very much required in this country. I will thank other people in this room, excellencies who have come here. I would also like to IG Rai Tahir. One of the people, and I've known him since he was an SP, one of the people I really looked up to for immediate reaction was Rai Tahir. And today he is head of NACTA, the most toughest job I think in this world. And what he knows today actually is that thing. Obviously we cannot discuss it in public, but whenever I want to know something that I need to know, which is of crucial I turn to his advice. He's got a very correct perspective. So more power to you. I would like to also thank General Kamal from Bangladesh. General Kamal could have been Chief of Army Staff if he had more pro-Indian views, but he didn't, unfortunately, at that time. So he retired as a general, right? And he was in the United Nations, and he's going to retire and he's in the toughest jobs in the world in Afghanistan, at United Nations. He's going to retire next month, I think, in September. And other people who are here, I find Asif Yasin Malik, and of course Javed Alam, and people, all over, which I've had my sisters-in-law here. I think, in the crowd I can see a lot of faces. I would like to name of them. I would not like to forget my course mates who are here. Ahsan, Salim, Ishaq, Sardar, you're sitting right, Hassan Sardar, you're sitting right there. But, it's good to see your course mates with you at this time. I'd also like to mention, when I was dismissed from the army, I did not have money to go home. And, the canteen contractor of Force in came to. I was in the middle of Balochistan. We were actually fighting Baloch at that time. And instead of fighting Baloch, I find I was dismissed. So, and that's a story by itself, because I stood first in the Captain to Major promotion exam, stood first in the Staff College entrance exam, and my CEO told me, "You're a bloody fool. You're going to be thrown out of the army soon." And General Brigadier Taj was right, because merit is a disqualifier. So, the thing that I thought was that 600 rupees to go home right? So I brought that man today. I requested him. He's not well. Hayat Khan, is he here? Hayat Khan? Khade ho jao, sahab. He gave me 600 rupees. His 600 rupees in 1974 carried me here. Thank you, Hayat. And I asked him at that time, he says, how am I going to return you the 600 rupees? He said, sir, you will earn enough. You will return it to me. So that thing, and I am proud that his son also works with me today. Mohsin hai pe? Mohsin bhi hai. So his son works with me today. And like this, I'm very lucky to have a lot of children of ex-servicemen of mine working with me. And it's proud to that thing. And children. And I would also like to mention here somebody who's not here, but who was laboriously writing a long note for me, Lieutenant General Rasib Khan, one of the finest soldiers I have known, one of the bravest soldiers I have known. I've again wounded twice in 2 wars, Tara Jurat, Corps Commander, and one of the few people who gave advice to General Wahid Kakar not to take an extension. He and General Ali Kuli said, don't take an extension. So they have Rasib Khan now is Jajja Cadet College. I'm proud to say that 25 of the children of my guards study full scholarship in Jajja College. And we have been doing this for the last 10 years now. And, you know, as people go, I think we have more than about almost 100 children who have gone through our course. And one of them, in fact, came on TED talk, and he mentioned he was, you know, been by Harvard University. He was considered by Harvard University. Son of a guard. That is the talent you have. And like this, the talent that I have, and I would like to mention my people from my company, very loyal, very hardworking, and totally dedicated. And you know, I say, what is your blessing? That is my blessing. To have such people working with you, whether it's in security services or whether it's in IT services. And you know, in IT services, many people do not know, but I think Brigadier Ahmed Shahzad sitting here from PTA, he will tell you that we are changing the destiny of the poor man with one of our products, in which he, of course, was the thing, and Mr. Sargana is sitting here with me, the thing, etc. from PTA. And they were so, that thing, positive for us, both the State Bank of Pakistan and both the PTA. And they said, this is the thing, this is the product, this is the product. 80% of the adult population of Pakistan does not have bank accounts. So we created that platform with their help, with their support. And today, we are recognized by the World Economic Forum as the most innovative platform in the world for helping financial inclusion and women empowerment. Luckily, the government does not know much about us. Otherwise, even that would go up. And as once, when at Davos, Shahid was asked a question, when people got up and said, ये इकराम सहगल इतना करता है, इतने पैसे खर्च करता है, Davos में लोगों को ले आता है, ये वो, गवर्नमेंट कुछ नहीं करती है. His answer was very good. His answer was, ये भी खत्म हो जाएगा, because the government. So, thank you. I want to again turn to my son, and thank you, Zara. You know, you always, it's always a blessing to have a wonderful son like Zarar. One is always proud of one son, but I'm more proud than most, right? And you know, he's now the chairman of the company. I didn't want him to end up like Prince of Wales, waiting for his mother to die. Yeah, you know. So you know, I said, please become the chairman of the company. I just own nominal share in the company. I almost own no land because everything is distributed among my children, among my you know, other friends, in the sense of people, that thing, etc. Because in the end, what do you take away with you? I would like to say this, that in the end, you take away, you know, what was quoted earlier of Rumi. That was the right thing, that you live on in the hearts of men. And you can live on the hearts of men, you are going to live on forever. And I may have missed out some people, and I please apologize for that, but I didn't want to that thing, etc. But we've done a lot of good work, and we've done a lot of good work all over. And I would like to end with two quotes. and which then I'm going to paraphrase them, those two quotes. The first quote is from Shakespeare, Mark Antony's speech, "The good that men do is oft interred with their bones. The evil lives after them." That was Mark Antony at his funeral oration for Julius Caesar. The good that men do is oft interred with their bones. The evil lives after them. And the other one was General MacArthur, his favorite address to Congress, when he was sacked by President Truman, and he said, "Old soldiers never die. They simply fade away." So I would like to end with paraphrasing both of them together and said, old soldiers who do not die, they should learn when to fade away. Thank you.